I've been using the iPhone 16 Pro Max daily for the last 5 months, and I want to give my user perspective. I won't be going too deep into specs or benchmarks or anything like that, but just my day-to-day, what I think of the overall device. Does it live up to the Apple marketing hype, or did I make a mistake by upgrading my device? Hey everyone, it's Andrew and welcome back to the channel. Without fail, every year with the iPhone event, Apple's marketing is just absolutely insane. And trying to think back to that iPhone event, it was actually kind of lackluster. And there wasn't really a particular amount of hype other than the fact that there was Apple Intelligence. But honestly, this phone is pretty much the same exact phone as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, the phone that I upgraded from. Outside of a couple things like the display being larger, so the 15 Pro Max was a 6.7-inch display, you now have a 6.9-inch display, there are thinner bezels, there's a new camera control button, and there's some differences in video capabilities, although not much. It's pretty much the same phone as last year. So with those differences, does that actually make a difference? And honestly, no. If you're upgrading, or if you upgraded from the 15 Pro Max, you're probably feeling like me a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have upgraded. I probably could have waited. And what's crazy is pretty much all of the features that Apple Intelligence gets with the 16 Pro Max is in the 15 Pro Max. So again, there's not really that much of a difference going on there. But overall, I still love the design. It's very nice. And the bigger display, it doesn't make that much of a difference for me. It doesn't feel much heavier. The display is still gorgeous. I love using it for social media apps, especially YouTube and Instagram. Like, it's a joy to use, don't get me wrong. Now, the biggest change on the exterior is camera control. But honestly, I really have not found a great use case for it. Apple did introduce visual intelligence that if you use camera control, you kind of open up visual intelligence. But recently we found out that that's also coming to the 15 Pro Max. So again, it's a great feature, but it's something that is on previous models too. So it's not really an incentive to upgrade from the 15 Pro Max. I think from a design perspective, camera control makes sense. It's kind of different. It's a good way to market. But honestly, are people going out instead of using the camera controls that are already on their screen? Are they really using that button? I just can't see a lot of people utilizing camera control. One of the few use cases that I found is when I'm holding my son in my hand, having it in the other hand to just click and take pictures, or kind of queuing up a photo right away, clicking it in my pocket and then pulling it up and using it that way just to take quicker photos. But other than that, I haven't really found it useful since day one. So in that sense, my tone on this button hasn't really changed. Now, a quick word from today's video sponsor, ESR. For some reason, a lot of case companies this year decided to go with a really ugly cutout for the camera control area. And what's worse, if you damage your camera control, you could be paying up to over $700 to get it fixed, which is insane. But ESR has you covered with a built-in camera control button that is able to keep it safe and protective, and it actually looks good. This is the hybrid case and stash stand by ESR. It has a beautiful 3-layered structure. It stays dust-free, it's sleek, and looks elegant. It's a clear MagSafe case that offers amazing protection, and with the camera control button, it gives off a more premium look. Honestly, it just looks cleaner than other cases, and it's super satisfying to use. Very responsive and very smooth. It also has an extremely sturdy MagSafe hold, whether it's a wallet or a charger, and the stash stand doubles as a sturdy stand. All you have to do is just pull it down, set it on a table, and you're good to go. Perfect for catching up on a show or watching sports. And the best part, the price is absolutely incredible. If you want unbeatable protection, strong MagSafe, and a complete beautiful design, check out the ESR Classic Hybrid case today. Link in the video's description and the pinned comment below. Now, I do want to really quick just talk about my day-to-day, the apps that I use, my performance and battery life, and even touch on battery health. The A18 Pro chip has been pretty great to use. Performance hasn't lacked in any way. The apps that I use the most are pretty much iOS apps and social media apps. One use case though that might be unique to me is that I actually edit all of my short videos on my iPhone 16 Pro Max in CapCut, and using that to just put in footage, edit, add auto captions, and export the video and load it to social media has been great. Haven't had any issues with that. I've also been on pretty much every version of beta and I haven't had any bugs. Little dips in battery life here and there, but not much. So performance has been pretty solid for me. And really, battery life has also been pretty good for me as well. I pretty much finish every day with 30 to 20% ready to charge overnight. And that seems to be working great for me. I'm satisfied and I have no problems with it. And my battery health after 5 months is still at 100%, which is fantastic. I do charge MagSafe and I do run beta, so I'm assuming it's going to start dropping soon. But so far, so good. Haven't really had any issues. Now, really quick, just want to touch on durability. The display hasn't really scratched at all. I've been taking a little bit of care of it this year and looks fine, no issues. There's no issue with the titanium frame. Everything has been holding up great. I have actually dropped it a few times, putting it in my camera to record a video and it falling off of the tripod, and it's still looking strong and didn't crack at all, didn't shatter, nothing like that. Now, I do have it in the natural titanium color. I think that's one of the most beautiful colors that's ever come out. And just thinking about Apple pushing their marketing hype with desert titanium, I've seen it in person and honestly not impressed with the color. I don't think it's that nice. I think I would have liked to have seen a blue or something different. I don't know, it's just not that nice of a color for me. And I'm really glad that I went with natural titanium because I think I would be kicking myself if I had gotten the desert titanium and jumped onto like the social media bandwagon of just getting the different color this year. I'm really glad I didn't get it. Now, I think kind of looking back on the event, there wasn't really a lot going on with hardware. We already really knew about iOS 18, but it hadn't been released yet. There was a lot of buzz for Apple Intelligence. And one of the main reasons people would even upgrade to the 16 series, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, for example, would be because of Apple Intelligence. I think Apple Intelligence has been an extremely bad rollout. It doesn't really have that many useful features. Sure, the writing tools are okay, but they're not great. ChatGPT is just so much better. There's no reason to not just download that app and use that. The hype of Apple Intelligence is extremely overhyped. I do think Apple can, in the next 2 or 3 years, kind of course correct and make their AI a lot better. It's just honestly been disappointing, and it kind of puts a little bit of a dent into the iPhone 16 Pro Max because what's the point? Now, my favorite part of this device is definitely the camera this year. And while it's not much different from the 15 Pro Max, I use this camera a lot more for content creation. I'm using right now to record this video, and I just love taking photos on this device, whether it's just going out around downtown Tampa and shooting random photos throughout the day of different cityscapes and buildings and doing that, or if it's taking video for content. It's just one of my favorite things to do is to take advantage of this camera. I absolutely love it. My favorite part is the 5x optical zoom. So pretty much every photo that I take outside is using 5x, and then inside I'm using the different 1x focal lengths. And I know Apple always touches on just how amazing the camera is, and there's a lot of hype around the camera. And while the hype seemed to be more on the camera control, the camera itself will not disappoint you. It's solid for video, for photography, a few miscellaneous things. I haven't had any overheating. Thermals have been pretty good. Sometimes it does get a little hot with using the camera a lot, but that's normal. Speakers are great. I haven't really needed any use case for the new slow-mo video, so I don't really use that. And I don't really use audio mix because I have a pretty good microphone, so there's no reason to change my voice with Apple's tools, to be honest. iOS 18 is still getting updates, so we're on iOS 18.4, so excited to see if we get any new Apple Intelligence features and upgrades to that. It is impressive how Apple has been able to keep the Pro Max from getting any more expensive, and that might change in the future. The price overall, I think, is worth it. I don't think Apple's limiting the display. I don't think they're limiting the software in any way. The camera is fantastic. Battery has been really good as well, and overall performance is solid. So it's a very likable phone. So what do I really think of this device just based off of my experience? I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely definitely overhyped. It's not different from the 15 Pro Max. So if you have the 15 Pro Max, if you have the 14 Pro Max, I would say even if you have the 13 Pro Max, if you didn't upgrade, you made the right decision. But I also feel like the 16 Pro Max is great and you're not gonna be disappointed if you do end up upgrading to it. I do feel like this is still a perfect phone for me. If you do have the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I'd love to hear your take on it in the comment section below. Let us know. Don't forget about ESR. The case is very good. As always, guys, thanks for watching. God bless, and I will see you on the next video.